Hello, in this video I'm going to share a very powerful astral projection tool with you. This tool will help you to have an out-of-body experience if you never had one or if you want to have them more regularly. This can help you to achieve the ability to have a conscious out-of-body experience. By the way, my name is Anna. I make videos sharing the wisdom I gained after my Kundalini awakening in 2014. I was able to heal myself from mental health issues like depression and anxiety. All my information is completely based on my personal experience. So if you're interested in information coming from this perspective, consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, so let's get into the topic of today's video. Astral projection, out-of-body experience is something everybody can do. Your consciousness has the ability to exit the physical body and move around outside of it in different realms, in different spaces, and you're fully conscious, fully aware. You can do whatever you would like to do. I'm warning you, this is a very powerful tool. If you do everything exactly as I describe it in this video, you're going to trigger an out-of-body experience. This is a new tool I'm using lately. I'm always trying to discover new ways to make it more easy to achieve this state, to achieve the out-of-body experience. So again, I'm warning you, this will trigger also sleep paralysis. So you should be prepared to experience sleep paralysis. I dislike sleep paralysis just as much as everybody. But I promise you, if you're able to push through, it is going to be so worth it. Sleep paralysis will only last for a few seconds. So don't worry, just push through it. Again, regarding sleep paralysis, another piece of advice that I would want to give you is to not panic. Sleep paralysis comes over your body like a wave. It feels like a heavy blanket, not too heavy, but it's a little bit like something is pushing on you. But as I said, this will only last for a few seconds. You should not panic. You should not want to move around. Just wait. Just be patient, be focused, and wait until it's over. The only negative thing is that it feels uncomfortable. It's not painful or anything. You just can't move for a few seconds. The other thing is I would not recommend to do this right before you go to sleep at night. I always do the back to bed method first. So this means you sleep for a few hours, you set your alarm to wake you up like 4 to 6 hours after you went to bed, and then you do this technique. Oh, at this point, I want to tell you, if you want to stop the sleep paralysis process, all you have to do is you try to move your toes. And when you are able to successfully move your toes, you will come out of sleep paralysis. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, I gave you a warning, and let's get into it now. Okay, so as I said, I prefer to do the wake back to bed method first. So you sleep for a few hours. You can play around with the hours, what is best for you, to sleep only 4, sleep only even 2 or 6 hours. Just find out what's best for you. I usually like to sleep 4 hours or 6 hours. Now you have to stay awake for a little bit. I prefer to stay awake for 5 minutes. If you're somebody who has difficulties to go back to sleep when you wake up during the night, 5 minutes is the best. If not, you can stay awake for 10, 15, or even half an hour. I think from my personal experience, it is much easier to achieve an astral projection experience if you manage to stay awake for like half an hour. By that I mean you do something for 5 minutes. Look at your phone, sit up, go to somewhere outside of the room, or whatever you would like to do. So you have to do something, because if you stay in the bed, the chances are very high that you will fall back to sleep, and we don't want that. So what I usually do is I look at my phone for 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to share with you this special little technique. So after you stayed awake for a while, you go back to bed, you just lay down as usual, and if you can fall asleep on your back, try it that way. It is going to be more likely that you will able to achieve the out of body experience. I can't fall asleep on my back, so I just do it in the normal position I would normally fall asleep in. So you just go back into the sleeping position, you close your eyes, and now you stay very, very focused. You have to decide, you have to set the intention that, okay, I'm going to have an out of body experience now. I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm going to do the steps, and I have to be focused now. You have to be focused for the whole process of separation is like about 5 minutes or so. So it is a very small little window, but you have to be very, very focused. If you're not focused, you're going to fall asleep. Okay, so what we want to achieve, this is the most important part. We want to achieve that the body falls asleep, but your mind, your consciousness is still awake. We want to be present at the moment when the body falls asleep. This is when sleep paralysis happens. So the moment sleep paralysis, so all that sleep paralysis is really, is that the brain paralyzes the body so you will not act out your dreams. Like, for example, when we see when a dog is sleeping and they dream of running around, then they move their legs. So we don't want that. The brain doesn't want that. The brain wants your body to be paralyzed so you can peacefully sleep. But the trick is to be able to achieve an out-of-body experience is to catch the moment the body falls asleep, but you're still aware and present and awake. And then you can catch your astral body and you can exit. So, how to achieve this? It is very, very important while you're doing all of this to not move. Once you move, you have to start the whole process from the beginning. Now comes the most important part, the part that this video is about. You try to remember the moment before you usually fall asleep. We all know this moment. It is the moment, it's like a cut. So the moment before this moment, you're still awake. After that moment, you are asleep. I don't know if I'm describing it well, but remember the moment before you fall asleep. So it is the little moment before you fall asleep. Usually the next thing you experience is waking up in the morning. So we have to remember that moment, how this moment feels like. It try to recall the memory. Recalling the memory will also bring back the feeling of it. You say to yourself, remember the moment before I fall asleep. You say it mentally to yourself. And then for a second you remember. And then you say it again. Remember the moment, I remember the moment before I fall asleep, or something like that. You have to speak to yourself, because if you're not speaking to yourself, it is more likely that you're going to fall asleep. It just helps the whole process, even if it's silly. And do this about maybe 10 times or so. You don't have to count, because the way it works for me is that I say it over and over again, and I remember exactly the moment, how it feels like, how this moment feels like before you fall asleep. And the next thing I notice is that I'm in sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis starts. So I don't count. Usually it's a few times, not even 10 times, maybe 5 times or so. Don't count, don't think about how many times you have to do it. Just do it. And the next thing you will notice is that you are going to get into sleep paralysis. As I said in the beginning, it's like a wave just coming over you, and you just have to stay calm. The other thing you will notice, by doing this, you kind of do like a hypnosis technique or something like that. You put yourself into a hypnotic state, into the hypnagogic state. This is how it's called, the state when you are like very drowsy, sleepy before you fall asleep. by doing this, by consciously remembering the moment you fall asleep and doing this multiple times, you will hypnotize yourself a little bit. You will put yourself into this hypnagogic state, and you will stay awake, aware the moment the body falls asleep. And yeah, that's it. This is all you have to do. In a future video, I will talk about the next steps, what to do after that. This video is not about those other steps. I just wanted to share this one little very powerful technique with you. This technique is going to help you to achieve an out-of-body experience. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.